Jackson here from Modal Electronics. I'm here at Gear4music today to show you through our new 4-voice polyphonic synthesizer, Sculpt. So Modal Sculpt is our newest creation. It's a 4-voice polyphonic virtual analog synth. It's portable, and if any of you are familiar with our ProLine products or our Craft products, you'll know a little bit about what we do, and this product is basically marrying some of the tech from that with the portability of the Craft line, trying to make the best product that we could without any compromise. So we tried to cover all bases with this one. As I said, we didn't try to compromise with this. We have the technology to do something really, really lovely, so we just went for it. We've got a 32 oscillator synth. That means we've got 8 oscillators per voice, which is unheard of, especially for a unit of this size. It's really special, quite rare. So we chose to go through with 8 oscillators per voice. I mean, usually you would only find 2 oscillators per voice in synths, especially something of this size, this price point. It's really unheard of to find something with 8 oscillators per voice. And the reason behind that is just the sonic capabilities, sound design. It's kind of like if you think about a guitarist having 6 strings, you have those options available to you for your voicings. And then if you add a 12 string, it just adds a different dimension to each voicing. This is like, having 8 strings for each of your single note voicings. So this means that when we come into spread functions, when we detune the oscillators from each other, we get a really, really rich tone, really rich in harmonics before we hit the filter, before we start to shape the sound. We think that's really special. The filter in Sculpt's quite unique. Those who are used to using our other products will know that we've got quite an interesting filter design. Our ProLine products have had some really interesting filters, and when we designed the Craft synth, we introduced a new filter type to our range, which is a two-pole state variable filter, which means it is continuously morphing. Other synths, you kind of have access to a low-pass filter or a high-pass filter, maybe individually, and that can be quite interesting. But in Sculpt, we have a continuously morphing filter, which means you can access all of those in a single sweep. So yeah, LFOs can be routed to pretty much anywhere in the synths. We've chosen some destinations specifically to enhance the sound design possibilities. You can route them to the effects, you can route them to parts of the envelopes, you can route them pretty much to anything as you would expect. The filter, oscillator, wave shapes. I mean, this is quite special for us because we've got continuous oscillators. This means that we essentially have wavetables that you can scan through. This is really, really, quite a unique feature in something of this size. The mod matrix in Sculpt has 8 slots and 37 destinations. This means that we have quite a huge amount of permutations of modulation. And the different combinations that you can reach with that means that this, as a sound design tool, has something that you can have sitting on your desk, when you're working on tracks or whatever it might be you're looking to do with it is quite incredible. But unlike in traditional subtractive synthesis, where you can pick one individually, statically, we're able to sweep between all of them. On the first wave, we have traditional VA wave shapes, so it goes from sine into a triangle, into a sawtooth, a square wave, and then into pulse width modulation. And this is the same on the second wave, only instead of pulse width, we go into a noise, which will filter down to -infinite dB. This really opens things up for sound creation possibilities. It makes Sculpt a little bit different than your standard subtractive synthesizer, in that realistically we have wavetables. Although these are standard virtual analog wave shapes, it's a big boost for what you can do. We've also included frequency modulation, which can be smoothed out with ring modulation, which is really unique for a synth this size. As you can see, we've squeezed all of this into quite a small package. This is because we wanted the synth to be portable. It's battery operated, but we've also learned from our previous series, The Crafts, some of the things that people wanted from a portable synth. So we've included full-size MIDI and clock sync in and out for people using maybe key steps or volcas or something like this. It doesn't matter whether you're traveling or whether you're in the studio. This means that you have all the power of some of our big Proline synths in a small package that you can take with you anywhere. We've developed an app to work on all platforms. We're covering iOS, Android, Windows and Mac. And we've also developed AU and VST3 support for DAWs. The app's optional. Everything you can control from the synth itself, but you can also control from the app if you choose to. You're not locked out of any features. The app also gives you access to a librarian feature, which means you can store your own patches and also move around the factory patches in a toolbox. This gives you the options to create your own sound banks, to create your own performance list of patches if you want to. You've also got a couple of effects options with Sculpt. We have a built-in delay and a built-in wave shaping overdrive. This is like a distortion, but a finely tuned one. The delay can be syncopated to your host or to an internal tempo. And all of these can be modulated by any of the onboard modulation routing. So we've mentioned that you can connect via full-size MIDI. You can clock sync in and out with any modular or clock sync enabled gear. It's really unusual for a synth this size to have full-size MIDI, but we've also got MIDI over USB. For those people without a MIDI setup in their house, this is just quicker connectivity to your computer or your DAW. We're also really excited that you can polychain sculpt with up to 4 other units, increasing the polyphony up to 16 voices. You can imagine the amount of oscillators that you get with that. I think it's about 128. The spread function with this just sounds huge. All these features make Sculpt a really powerful synth for something this size and something that's really, really affordable.